Hello to anyone who's found themselves on my channel. Usually, when it's just me talking, I don't get much views. I get a lot of views on my masonry stuff, but today, just for about a couple minutes, I want to talk about this fella in Minneapolis who was killed by a police officer, or a few police officers. They held him down. He couldn't breathe. He said he couldn't breathe. And now they're rioting. They were protesting. Now they're rioting. No, I I don't. Me personally, I'm not the kind of person who's going to go to a retail store and bust up the doors I I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't give anyone advice to do that. And I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get some attention here. Um, some world attention, because it is an injustice when life after life is taken by police officers. Uh, so that's my criticism towards them. But my criticism towards the police officers, look, man, you've got a vast army of police officers who are not trained well enough. Uh, if the leaders of our country aren't going to fix that, we need to change the leaders of our country. If you got a guy out there who needs to restrain someone who's bigger than him and stronger than him, and this person is scared of the person who's bigger and stronger than him, he's going to use excessive force and people are going to die. I was a wrestler in school, and I've always kind of dabbled in like maybe aerobic kickboxing and stuff. And I got good hand-eye coordination, and I feel like a lot of like mixed martial arts moves I could get pretty easily. And I'll tell you what, when I look at a police officer, and this subject is the subject of conversation, and it's in my mind actively, and I see a police officer, and I think to myself, in a true life or death situation, if the police officer is not going to pull his gun and shoot me, on a one-on-one challenge between me and most police officers, I believe that I would win that fight. In my mind, the police officers who do not possess the skills and the ability to safely restrain someone, they shouldn't be police officers. Now, if you switch a police officer's skills with someone who's probably special forces or something like that, I don't want to mess with that person. I'm going to comply. That person is not going to be afraid of me, and things are going to go smoothly. But that's not reality. Reality is we have police officers who are scared of citizens, and therefore feel that they have to use deadly force instead of training themselves. And our leaders of our country are not addressing this issue. A little side story, there was a woman in Vermont, and it hit headlines there. She got out of prison and got custody of her children. And she was still on parole. Well, she was late 5 minutes to a parole meeting. Her parole officer then decided to strip her of her children. And this woman was probably not 100% mentally stable, but what she did is she waited for that parole officer to get out of her office and walk to her car. She waited, and she took a gun and shot this woman to death 5 times. She shot her. Shot this parole officer. That's what the consequence is gonna be when you destroy people's lives. And from what I can see, as of now, that's the direction we're going. There needs to be some serious leadership change. And police need to be held accountable to a higher standard, not a lower standard, than the citizens that they're supposed to be protecting. We have murderers wearing badges. They are murderers. They should be in prison. And this is a big problem. And we haven't hit the brink yet, but it's going to hit the brink. And all I can do is just say that people need to step up to the plate, and there needs to be an army of people that are focusing their lives on ending this injustice.